Nancy pata pata
Sakukuga sati
Ebo iyo pata pata
Sakukuga sati bega
Nancy pata pata
Sakukuga sati
Ebo iyo pata pata
Iyo mama
Nancy pata pata
Iyo mama
Iyo pata pata
Iyo mama
Nancy pata pata
Iyo mama
Ebo iyo pata pata
Iyo mama
Nancy pata pata
Iyo mama
Ebo iyo pata pata
I don't see people dancing. Okay, I want you to move. Stand up.
I wanna do it. Touch, touch. Ipata pata. I wanna do it. Touch, touch. Ipata pata. I wanna do it. Touch, touch. Ipata pata. I wanna do it.
I get it.
Touch, touch. Ipata pata. Nancy pata pata. Iyo Nancy pata pata.
Sakukuga sati bega
Nancy
Sakukuga sati bega
iyo pata pata.
Sakukuga sati bega Sakukuga
Let's hear
sati
you.
bega
Sakukuga today. Sakukuga satipera. Yebo. Sakukuga satipera. Sakukuga satipera.
I say do it I wanna do it
Touch, touch. Ipata pata.
Do it
I wanna do it.
Yes I
Touch, touch. Ipata pata.
do it
I wanna do it. Touch, touch. Ipata pata. Nancy pata pata. Ebo iyo pata. Nancy pata pata. Iyo
Sakukuga sati bega
Nancy
Ebo sakukuga sati bega
Ebo iyo pata pata.
Sakukuga sati bega Sakukuga sati bega
Iyo pata pata. Nancy pata pata. Iyo pata pata.
Facele bas, ei macaras, e que si bas, hanjele ver, facele bas, ei macaras, e que si bas, cuela, 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 mami, cuela, cuela, mama, cuela, 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 mama, cuela, cuela, mama, cuela, 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 mama, cuela, cuela, mama. Facele ver, facele bas, e macaras. You have your eyes east. You are keeping on. Angin tem. Engiti. Khangele ver. Fatjele bas. E macharas. E kesti pat. What?
Khangele ver. Celebas, el Macaras, el que vivas.
Cuela, cuela.
Cuela, 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 así se dice la belleza, cuela. Sounded beautiful. Yeah, bo, crowd. One more time. Into ya midnight, no me se luchar. Dinga yi, yangi se betel. Into ya midnight, no me se luchar. Dinga yi, yangi se. Quella, quella, let's go. Quella.
Cuela, cuela, mama. Cuela, cuela, mama.
Quella, quella. Quella, quella, mama. Quella, quella, mama. Yeah, quella, quella. Quella, quella, mama. Quella, quella, mama. Quella, quella. Quella, quella, mama. Quella, quella, mama. Asoma twaha kaingogola. Kanta wazwani kanjanjalo. Yebu mandili sudibale. Anguzuzangi nenendana. Asoma twaha kaingogola. Kanta wazwani kanjanjalo. Yebu mandili sudibale. Anguzuzangi Quella, 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 mama, quella, quella, mama, quella, 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 mama, quella, 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 mama, quella, quella, mama. Uputile mazo, ushebile bana. Uputile mazo, ushebile ba. Asa. Uputile mazo, ushebile bana.
manna abasebenza wena uphuthile matho yeah uphuthile matho shebile manna abasebenza uphuthile matho ushebile namasebenza arashabe matho puthile matho ushebile namasebenza wena uphuthile matho ushebile namasebenza wena erikele bonse uphuthile matho. Choreography but a remel. Can we stand? Can we all stand? Let's go. Uphuthi ushebile manna abasebenza wena asaba uphuthile matho ushebile manna abasebenza wena asabe uphuthile matho ushebile manna abasebenza Asam. Wakubutu uphuthile matho na abasebenza wena uphuthile matho ushebile manna abasebenza wena eberere wena ari wena aibo wena uphuthile matho ushebile manna abasebenza wena lunakalathi uphuthile matho ushebile manna abasebenza
Stay there. Don't go back. Stay with me. Yes, our games are not ending just yet. Can you give them a big hand? Did they make you warm? They did, right? They did. So, yeah, I'm asking you to stay with us because we need to start this the right way. So can everybody in the auditorium please rise? Okay. Lirweli, bend dilo fasi. Hands to the sides, guys, heads off. There's a thing we must always teach when we observe the singing of the national anthem. We respect this song as citizens who respect ourselves as citizens of the Republic of South Africa, right? The Gauteng Music Academy will lead us in the national anthem, and we will sing along and not spectate. Thank you very much. Please give a big hand to the Gauteng Music Academy. Re a leboha. I saw a few presidents in the room. Laditsibadi president, heads of state, and premiers, the ones that get to do this, and captains of national teams. Lebabon, the rest of us ordinary people were like this. The president, can we please learn why they do that when they do? It's not for everyone. Nah? It's not for everybody. Good morning, goeiemorgen, sanbonani, molweni, ndimacheloni abusheni. My name is Florence Masebe. I am going to be your truck driver for the day. I'm calling it a truck because we've had to move slowly a little. Banaba Foshville, dumelang, rekwileli fitli. We did not start without you. We were just warming ourselves up a little bit. But now that we are here, we're going to have to put this truck into a heavier gear so that it moves on time. Allow me to greet the Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Buti Manamela. who's here together with the DDG for Community Education and Training in the Department of Higher Education and Training, Ms. Tembi Safuchane, as well as the CEO of CATSETA, Mr. Max Tibela, the CEO of the Market Theatre Foundation, Ms. Tiamo Mokhadi, senior executives from the Department of Higher Education and Training, senior representatives from the office of the Gauteng MEC of Education, Sports, Arts and Culture, and also representing the Gauteng CET principal here today, Menoche, and the most important of the people that I will acknowledge before we start, the very newly elected president of the CETs, Ms. Peggy Mujaji Maponya. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this cold morning. Le Grand. Okay, those 2-3 songs di really bereketse ne. Wa bona ke a bona bile le di jase le di tlhobotse a go monate. Re a le amogela. Thank you very much for joining us as we commemorate CET education and colleges in this country. But not only that, doing it acknowledging the role played by the arts and how performing artists and artists of all kinds did their part in making sure that post-1976, the reason why we celebrate and commemorate Youth Month, that post-1976, the voice of young people continued to be heard and continue to do it even today using various types of skills that they have to get themselves through into the industry. We are going to move very swiftly. So I'm going to ask that if you have your phone on, you make sure it's on silent. Not on vibrate, because we've got very special mics. This place is called the John Kani Theatre. So when you say anything, there are very beautiful microphones will pick you up. On the other side. So today. Let there be no whispering during the program, and let there be no up and down. Up and down. But if you must get up and down a few many times, we will ask that when you come back, you don't come back to the main auditorium, you go to the top. You will still be experiencing everything as everybody else. To get us started, ke kgopela re bitse the DDG for CET branch of the Department of Higher Education and Training, Me Tembisa Fuchani. Do you want to welcome her with a warm song, or do you just want to welcome her with a warm round of applause? How do you do it in the CET sector? This is the one, eh? Okay, do it again. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the program director. I was hoping for a song. But then that's fine. In the interest of time, any next song that plays, I'll assume is being played for me. Thank you very much, program director. Let me first pass on my greetings and acknowledgement to our Honorable Deputy Minister who's here today with us. I'm not going to mention everybody because I think the program director has done very well in relation to that. I'm just going to mention a few. Also the CEO of the Market Theatre, the CEO of CATSETA, the senior officials from the various theatres, senior government officials present here, both from Gauteng and from the national office, including the city branch, the Gauteng Music Academy that welcomed us with a warm song at the beginning, the fall performers who are still going to perform later today. I cannot leave out Imbogodo, the new leadership of the SRC, Gauteng City College, President Ms. Maponya. She's here with the Deputy President, the SG, and the entire SRC of Gauteng City College. Are you here, SRC? Oh, wonderful. The students from the Gauteng Community College, from the various centers that have come, and I'm also pleased that those who struggled with the transport have finally managed to make it here. And the colleagues that are from the Office of the Deputy Minister that are also present here today, and everybody that is from the Market Theatre present here today. I'm going to be very brief in terms of just giving a highlight, but I need to start off by saying that, do you know that this year, 2025, marks a decade of community education and training? Did you know that? It's 10 years. The community colleges migrated from provincial education departments in 2015, where they were known as adult centers, ABET, those who may recall. Please remember that we are no longer adult education and basic public centers, but rather that we are now CET colleges. So we mark a decade of community education and training. In that decade, I must indicate that this is the first time that at a national level, we are commemorating the Youth Month. So it augurs well that we do so also in the year that we celebrate or commemorate or acknowledge or observe 10 years of CET colleges. It's also the first time that we are having an event that is centered or anchored around creative skills. We've never had such an event. So we are part of making history today, especially for the students who are in the sector. It's the first time that we are doing a number of things. It's also the first time that we are even coming to the Market Theatre as a city college, let alone to have an event at the Market Theatre. Now, why are we doing this? Why is it so important? Why are we having this collaboration amongst ourselves as the Department of Higher Education, as the Market Theatre, and as with the CETAs that are supporting this collaboration? Part of it has been covered by the program director when she briefly highlighted the importance of the creative arts. Their importance not only in terms of when you have a skill in the creative arts, your chances of getting the employment or even being self-employed yourself, you know? So we are looking at those opportunities for employment. The creative arts or the skills in the creative arts are very important in relation to having the skills and skills for employment, but skills for entertainment as well, and for educational purposes, and for carrying the key messages. And these key messages are not just the key messages of yesterday, because the history is important. If it was not for the arts, if it was not for the creative arts, a lot of the things that we know today, we probably would not know. We have known them through film, we have known them through photography. You all know about the famous photographer. I see pictures. I see one is nodding their head. We've known them through photography. We've known them through films. We've known them through storytelling, part of which you'll get to see today, and various performances. So it's carrying forth the history. And there's educational purposes in that as well. It's not just entertainment. And sometimes we learn better through entertainment, but the messages are not lost. The messages are carried through. So this assists us for those educational purposes as well, and for us to learn in terms of what has happened in the past, and that will certainly assist us in terms of determining where we are moving forward in terms of the future. We are therefore, as the department, and particularly the CET branch, looking at what are some of the skills, some of which are offered here in the Market Theatre. You'll get to learn a little bit later about that. And supported by the CETAs, if you have not seen the exhibitions, I urge you to please go and look at those exhibitions. What are some of the skills that we can do and offer through our CET colleges, and hopefully starting with Gauteng CET College, so you are going to be pioneers in this regard. starting with Gauteng City College, and look at some of the skills, of the creative skills that can be offered, and then we can take those out broader into all the colleges in the country. You may be aware that we've got 9 colleges countrywide with 1,591 centers. So this is what we are starting today. We are starting something very big, and we are starting something very good. And we are starting something that, yes, today is a one-day event, but we are starting an initiative that is going to carry on for many more years to come. And as I come to an end in terms of what we want to cover today, let me just give you a brief synopsis in terms of the deliberations that are going to be carried through today, but which we want to carry through beyond today and for years to come. We want to promote the importance of storytelling, our own history through various forms, both traditional but also modern, and emphasize the significance of skills around this level. We want to facilitate knowledge sharing about careers in the arts and culture sector and promote equitable access to creative educational resources. And we are hoping that you are going to be part of that process, of the skills that are going to be acquired by yourselves, and you are going to be part of the storytelling in terms of once you've acquired the skills. We also want to use this opportunity, working with the Market Theatre, to showcase their programs and activities. Before I had this engagement, and CEO will tell you in one of our initial meetings, when she told me what the Market Theatre does, I was like, wow, I was not aware. And in my personal capacity, I have been here many times, I must indicate. But I was not aware that there was something bigger and better, more than what the performances I had come to just view happens at this Market Theatre. And I'm going to leave that so that it can be shared with you later. We want to provide an opportunity whereby we can avail training programs, internships, and learnerships. And this is the discussions that we are having with the sitters that are supporting this initiative. I've spoken about the exhibition. Please do make the time and do engage with the exhibitors in terms of, don't just walk through. Do engage in terms of what is this exhibition about? What do you do? And if I were interested, how would I be, how can I get involved in this manner? And finally, we want to find ways of how the skills in the creative sector can find expression through our public training institutions, particularly in this regard, city colleges. I must indicate that you are the chosen ones in terms of the Gauteng City College. We are starting this, as I've indicated, for the first time in the city sector, and we are starting this with yourselves. We are hoping that through this initiative, you will spread the word, and that it will be a good word that you spread, and that this initiative that we are starting today will only grow from strength to strength. I look forward to the engagements of today, and I trust that equally you will look forward, and I call on you, particularly the City College students, to actively participate in all the deliberations that are going to be carried through today. I thank you.
So there's a thing that when you come to watch a show here, they do. I had hoped they would do it for you at the beginning so that I wouldn't have to do what I'm doing now. It says, welcome to the Market Theatre Foundation, an agency of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. There's a reason I'm telling you that. The Market Theatre did not just start as an agency of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. In fact, far from it. The government of the day when it started would have wanted to burn it and end everything that happened inside it. If you look up, did you see those signs? Deering, Boland Food Distributors, wholesale, retail fruit and vegetable, Newtown fruit. Do you see those things? Are they nice decorations? It is called the Market Theatre because years ago, while young people were taken to the streets of Soweto demanding better education, greater freedom, and an end to the oppressive Bantu system of the day, something remarkable was happening in the very same week in Newtown, Johannesburg, at the Indian Fruit Market, this place where you are. Founded by two men, Manny Manham and the legendary Barney Simon. They took the fruit market and created out of it things that you probably know now. Any of you ever did a play called Woza Albert at school? No? You saw the play. The older people saw the play. Yeah. Hey, we are going to have to create theater outings a lot. But it's June, so you probably watched on TV, Make Me Numb, Nelson. Sarafina. It started here at the Market Theater. Plays like You Strike the Woman, You Strike the Rock, Nothing But the Truth with the legendary John Kani, who gives his name to this theater that we are in today, and many, many more. This is the home of theater, not only in Gauteng, but in Africa. It is known. It is the Market Theater. It hosts, as a foundation, the Market Theater itself, which is a complex of theaters that include the John Kani, the Barney Simon, the Manny Manham? The Manny Manham. Do we count the ones on the other side as well, or they are part of the lab? And on the other side, you have the Ramola Omachene, which is at the Market Theater Laboratory. And you have the Market Photo Workshop and the Windy Brow Arts Center. The Windy Brow Arts Center focuses quite a lot on making sure that those plays and set works that you do at school come alive for you and you get to understand them better. But the Market Theater Foundation, with all its years of excellence and bringing beautiful artistry to local audiences and exporting them ultimately to the world, does not stop its work at just giving beautiful plays, like the DDG remarked. There is more that gets done here. I've just mentioned the photo workshop, and I hope in your going through exhibitions and touring, you will understand what they do as well. We were speaking of photography earlier. They also have the Market Theater Lab. It's a beautiful space. I had the privilege a few weeks ago to sit in a space where Dr. John Kani was explaining that after a number of years being within the Market Theater, they sat and thought, maybe we should do something, create a space where young people that are coming from different communities who may not qualify to go to Wits Drama School, who may not qualify to go to Tshwane University of Technology, which would have been Pretoria Tech at the time, who wouldn't qualify to get into what was regarded as formal education spaces, to create a space where they get trained and cooked and given the prerequisite skills for them to compete in the broader world of the performing arts. And I know the Market Theater speaks proudly of their alumni. Do you know Kenny Mackenzo? You do? I met him at the Market Theater Lab years ago. He was a student there. Was Warren Masemula one of your students? Do you know Warren Masemula? Yes. What quote is he famous for? Orenge? I love him for that quote. You must keep it every day. There are a few more. I'll remember them and I'll tell you. I think Harriet Manamela is an alumni here. Did you know that, Deputy Minister? Harriet Manamela is a Metivos on Skim Sam, an alumni of the Market Theater Laboratory. So setting up that space created an opportunity for many young people who would otherwise not have made it into other formalized spaces to be formally trained and then recognized as competent and quite formidable contributors to the creative arts in South Africa. So to quote John Kani, this space, the Market Lab, was created to give them skills to speak about issues that concern them and their communities. Today, the lab is a hotbed of new talent of some of the biggest names in theater and film. Now, let's literally switch lenses and come back. In 1989, world-renowned photographer David Goldblatt founded the Market Photo Workshop. That's the bold idea that made sure that through photography, students also from neglected and marginalized communities have an opportunity to pick up a camera and through their lens tell the story of their people and the stories of South Africans. If you can think about it, you cannot have a changing society moving through different things without the arts, right? We commemorate Youth Day in June because of what happened in June 1976. It so happens that in the same time that that was going on, this place was taking form. But there's another thing, DDG. You said 10 years of CET colleges. It's also 10 years of fees must fall. And because it is also 10 years of fees must fall, we are looking to where the fall movement started. We didn't start by demanding, hearing calls for fees to fall. The first thing that the students wanted to see falling is at my alma mater at the University of Cape Town, where a giant statue of Rhodes University used to stare at you as you climbed stairs on your way to campus every morning. And the students at the University of Cape Town demanded for it to fall. So as we go through the program that is placed here for you today, let us also enjoy. Hello? Barabe. Sorry, could you chili deputy minister? Because it might be why it's ringing. With apology. So, we are talking about the fall movement because you guys don't have to worry about fees falling, do you? No, ne? How? You don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about that. Not yet. They're looked after, these ones. The CET colleges, Balisota. Yo, I telling matso, telling level. I get we're very good at speaking about what is not going right. When we have beautiful things that are going right, we whisper. Telling matso. And with that, I'm going to leave the stage for a few minutes as we allow for the actors who must come on stage to give us a little bit of their art. They've cut it down just for the purposes of today to give us a live performance. How many of you have been to theater for a live performance in the room? Students? Eh? Look what you've never been to a theater. You see why I asked you earlier on, Kibuchishaure, where are you from? You have been. When I was asking where you've been, where you're from, I come from Chakuma. There's no theater there. So the first time I stepped into a theater was just before I myself became a drama student. So there's no shame, but there's beautiful blessing in knowing that today you're in a theater, the Market Theater, and get to enjoy the fall. Can we please clear the stage for them?
seem like we were not prepared. Those gates were open. As far as I'm concerned, that was an invitation.
Stop interrupting the story, man.
No, just saying it shouldn't be made as if we did not anticipate the occupation.
Well, I remember Prof. Martin, one of the black academics. He met us at the Bremner Foyer, and there he commended us on our efforts. He said that the decolonial conversation we were starting was one that people like him had been pushing.
Without recognition.
And I mean with their writings on activists and philosophers like Biko, Fanon, those names were to greatly influence the movement.
We were not only determined to realize Steve Biko's philosophy of black pride, but we were committed to becoming our own heroes by taking matters into our own hands. Later that afternoon, we marched upstairs to the moderator room. The building was erupting with songs because we were occupying a space where management had made many executive decisions. Well, up until our occupation, we were becoming our own council, only accountable to the movement and its people.
I remember standing in the corner of the moderator room, unable to sing or dance or speak. I never felt all these things, so many things at the same time before. All those people looked so powerful, and I was there, feeling tiny and wondering what the rest of the world was thinking, seeing us dancing on top of the vice chancellor's table.
Those tables do not belong to the Vice Chancellor. They now belong to the blacks. It was our turn to sit in meetings and decide the future of this university.
I heard some people call themselves black radical feminists. I wanted to be a black radical feminist. I didn't even know what that was, but yes, they were at the front, disrupting the space, occupying it, they were speaking their minds. I too wanted to speak my mind, but I couldn't find my voice at that point. It was still only a streak.
We started shifting furniture around in preparation of our first meeting. I stood against the wall, holding a plaque honoring Prof. Achima Fair, UCT's first black professor. That day, we would become Biko Blacks. That day, we taught ourselves as the movement what we learned about white supremacy, institutional racism, and being black at UCT.
Yeah, I probably learned more in that 8-hour plenary than I did in my entire 3 years at university.
shit it is for blacks at this university. Throwing some poo on that statue was 100% articulate. It's crazy how everyone got so lit over some pota-pota on the statue. But there was a lot of hard work around transformation long before he did that. We need to talk about the statue. Are we going to meet with management or not? Check. I think we must reject that meeting with management. They don't care about us. All they ever do is talk. I say we remove that statue ourselves.
I don't think we should completely reject the meeting with management. Why? Because yes, if we take that statue ourselves, it will be seen as an act of violence.
We must be violent with a system that is violent towards us. Decolonization is always a violent phenomenon. I mean, we all know the colonial history of the roads. His statue on our campus traumatized us. That man never wanted us to be here.
Yeah, ne? Cecil John Rhodes. I learned about him in my second year African history course. But it was then that I realized that the history they're teaching us, it's not the history of Africa, but rather the history of how Britain and the superpowers stole Africa and carved it up into little countries. With people like Leopold, Livingstone and Rhodes featuring as heroes. Hey, Rona. Rhodes did not only wrap up the Kimberley diamond for himself and a couple of his buddies, thank you very much. He was an arch imperialist who believed 100% in the superiority of the English race. All I learned about Africans was how weak we were. Weak in weaponry, tribal in clothing, how we had to be civilized for the great Christian nations. What history is that? They said that he donated the land, but whose land was it to begin with?
Please raise your hand and wait to be recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that must be very good management. What I'm saying, Chair, is we must force them to do the work. We cannot hold ourselves.
No. We have already started to put pressure on management by occupying this space. What we need now are the dates. Management doesn't care about us. They must now understand that we are angry because we can no longer breathe in this space. Now, all I'm saying is that if you're serious about decolonization, then we must be prepared to take matters into our own hands.
Hi, everyone. I just want to know what we mean by decolonization. Does it mean we have to give back everything that the whites made that we use now? Like mobile phones, clothes, Wi-Fi, cars, the university? Must not get up to university. What? Banish white people? Go to war?
My sister, they banished your forefathers. Don't you want to banish them?
Actually, I am made up of a very wide genetic range. As are most of you in this room. It's not all about black or white. All I'm saying is that we must just be careful of sounding racist. I don't know who I am right now in this space. I mean, I know these people, and I know how they perceive me. They think I don't speak Xhosa, but I actually do. It's just that people laugh at my accent, so I don't speak it often. I should actually be back at Rex, writing my essays. But something's keeping me here, and I don't know what it is. This place, this people, this knowledge, it reminds me of back home, of before university, when I still thought I had a voice. We must just be careful about our terminology.
Please, can we stick to the methods at the end and not complicate things? Yes, Henry, get up. I propose we bring in a group of people here, and we take down that stage to ourselves. And we mobilize the students to come around the statue on the hill. And you have us men drinking a chisel and a hammer. And when we hit that statue, who are they going to arrest? They must tell us the country. Come on. And the boy, I know someone with a chisel and a hammer.
Please. Okay, we need to
Chief and I saw the fear in the vice chancellor's face today. How is it that he sees our power before we do? What we've done today is huge. You're angry, I get it. I'm also angry. I also want to burn the whole place down. But how is that going to solve anything? Great. With all due respect, don't come here and speak to us like we're your children. Please. Just because you're in the SRC. It has nothing to do with my position on the SRC, but everything to do with your refusal to respect others in this space. Yes. You asked that because I love you. I should say chisel and hammer.
That land is a national heritage site, so you can't just go there, chisel and hammer. And you will be charged. You're all about decolonization. You will end the movement before you start. Chair, what we need to do is go to council.
Yes. That council is full of old racist white men here.
Yeah, but Jenna, that council that is full of old white racist men are the ones who have the power to decide. That's the Tuesday the vote.
What if we enter the council meeting and force them to make a decision with us there? Yeah, nothing about us without us.
Because we need to discuss other ways of decolonizing this institution. Because we all know that it's not just about the statue. In the meantime, I propose a series of lectures and talks with Prof. Dr. Shose, the Black Executive Officer. Chair, he didn't even...
We are derailing with these talks and meetings. Please. Can we start talking practical now? When are we removing that colonial statue and how are we bring it down? Educators, we already told you. We know how we are taking it. Please, let's not return to the issue about the chisel and the hammer. Did I say chisel and the hammer? I'm about to say chisel and the hammer to the side. I know someone with a truck. We tie it to the statue and we pull it up. Just like the thing was at
Okay, guys, you need to focus. This is not just about the statue. It's about the curriculum. It's about the lack of black lecturers.
I mean, Kenya, it's about how they treat black workers.
It's about the art on the wall.
Or those names on the buildings.
Are we reflected in this institution?
Yeah, or not reflected in this institution. Check. We can illuminate issues of why this stage is problematic. Through these suggestions, we run up the masses. Tell us, with the masses, it will be easier for us to pressurize our management to remove that stage. It will be a victory for all of us. There's no connection.
Check. I agree with my data over here. We go to council, we tell them when, and we tell them how to remove that statue. Guys, we have the power in this situation.
No. Sorry. It still feels like we are asking for permission. Why must we always ask for permission from a white man?
Because they have the power,
Kelly. You cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness. And in this case, Cadus, it comes from non-conformity. The courage, Cadus, to turn our backs on old formula. The courage to invent the future.
Didn't management say that they want to take down the statue? Aren't they just following due process?
Due process? My sister, I have followed due process at this university. Where has it gotten me? Threats of exclusion. Keras, if I am excluded, that means that 6 years of medical school would have been for nothing. I was clinically depressed. I went to student wellness and I got all the correct doctor's notes. I even applied for an extension, hand it on time. And now, because I 1 week, this racist lecture of mine wants to fail me. Imagine. Yeah, man. Due process for who? For who, then? We take the fucking down food and we do that stuff.
Okay.
Come on.
We sympathize with the down. But we can't take the statue down.
Hey. Don't silence my back pain, man. We just right, more senior daddy.
Check. Oh, wow. Just because you went to a Model C school, it doesn't mean that you don't identify with the cause.
It's a long man.
Check.
Sorry, house. Haters. All I'm saying is that there are men in this movement who are willing to sacrifice everything, including our educations. We want to show the world that the fall of Rhodes will be the inevitable fall of white supremacy and privilege. The only thing we're asking from this house is that they give us the blessing to do this ourselves. No.
Hey, you wouldn't get halfway through Cecil's bleeding head before the arrest. Please, some foresight.
How come neither? Who said we are going to start from the top? We are going to start from the bottom. Girls, I want to see Cecil's head rolling down those stairs. Swear, swear. Shona malanga, shona, shona malanga, shona, shona malanga, shona. Tivana, Tivana, gepasu getatene. Sesizo Tivana, Tivana, gepasu getatene.
Hello? Okay, there we are. Thank you. Did you enjoy that? Cast of the Fall. While they get me ready for my next part, where's the cast of the Fall? Can you ask the cast to please just step out on stage for me? Are they here? Somebody get a message backstage. Ask them to just quickly step out for me. Just very quickly. Did you enjoy that? Did it move you? Okay. Whoa, are we still going to use that? I guess we are, yes. Okay. They're not here. Are you here? Is it taking a while? If it is, I'm going to let it go. All right, there we are. Thank you very much. That's a shortened version, by the way. So if it comes back to the theater, as plays usually do, can those that care about you bring you back here to watch the play on a good full matinee? It's a lovely play, was it not? Give them a very big hand. Thank you so much. Are we all? No, we are not all set. So this is why I'm asking the cast to come through for me to do this quickly while they set up what they've got to set up there. There you are. There you are. There you are. No, no, no. You can come through here. Come through here. Come through here. Don't worry. Don't go to the chairs. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There are things I want to do for you very quickly. Is it all of you? It's not on the program they gave me. Deputy Minister, I don't see him. How? I want him to come and take a picture, a beautiful formal picture with these young people. Because people forget the performer that went backstage, you see. I'm always that one that has pictures with no one. So I'm doing this for you. Deputy Minister, I'm please asking for a photo opportunity with these young performers that just gave us a beautiful performance. And they can introduce themselves to you one by one as you come through. There you go. Are you gonna?
Hi everyone. My name is Sihle Shona. And I'm an actor and co-writer of the show.
Hello, my name is Abongile Maurice Matyutyu. Yeah, and I'm a performer in the play.
Hello, my name is Lachey Tanji, and I'm also a performer in the play.
Dumelang, ka lebitso ke Tshepo Matlala. I'm also the performer.
Dumelang, libitso laka ke Tankiso Mamabolo. I'm an actor and a co-writer of the show.
Hello, Sanbonani. My name is Lihle Ngubo, and I'm an actor in the play.
My name is Jermaine Johnson, and I'm an actor in the play.
Thank you so much. Did you guys get the official photographers? Did you get their picture? I'm stepping away so that they can have a beautiful picture. Did they get their picture? Thank you very much. Thank you for a beautiful performance. Thank you for a beautiful piece. And thank you for indulging us, Deputy Minister. Okay, there we go. Are we not done? I was doing all of those things, wanting to save time and also get something beautiful done.
Yeah, it's okay. No.
So as you were watching that, I hope in your mind you were sitting going, how many skills does it take for something like this to come to be? How many credits would go into the program for a play like this? What does it take to put a play on stage? And why do we ask those questions? We ask them so that you can discover a world of skills that you could fall in love with and want for yourself, so that your education can lead to you following your passions. We're going to have a conversation. If I can please ask the following people to join me on stage. I'll start with the Deputy President, the SRC Deputy President for CET, Ms. Zandile Sithole. Where's Zandile? Huh? Okay, she'll join us. You see, I wanted Zandile to be the one that welcomes everybody on stage. That's going to be on the panel with her, but it's all right. Can I please have the DDG, Ms. Thembisa Fuchane? Because we are going to be saving a lot of time during this conversation so that we can have time for your Q&A, we will make sure I'm telling you who these people are as they come, ne? So before ba araba ba tlo thoma ka hore nna ke nna Florence wa Masebe ke tswa Chakuma, ha o ya Chakuma o namela bus ke tharo. Akere, you may take a seat. Can we please have the head of the Market Theatre Photo Workshop, Mr. Bandile Gumbi? Miss, I'm sorry. So sorry, sis. Can we have, oh yes, can we have the CEO of the Market Theatre Foundation, Ms. Tiamo Mohadi? And there's your Deputy President. Give her a big hand. Can we have the CEO of Katsita, Mr. Max Tibela? I promise you. There we are. Oh, they had a 7th chair. Was that for you, Deputy Minister? His answer is no. So this is what we're going to do. I asked you earlier on, do we have, I'm going to make sure that this conversation happens with you integrated. We're not going to go through talking, and then question and answer. All right? So I would like to have at least 1 roving or 2 roving mics somewhere in the auditorium so that we're able to have this conversation properly. We are going to speak about skills in the creative arts. I already started by asking you, when you are watching The Fall, did it occur to you how many, did it occur to you how many skills it might have taken to get to what you got to see? And when I brought back the cast to introduce themselves, did you hear they wrote it? It wasn't handed to them. They wrote it. So clearly you need a writer for you to have a play. What else do you think one needs for a play to happen? What do you need? You need a director. What do you need for a play to happen? Light, sound. What do you need for a play to happen? What do you need? Sorry, we already got a director. A stage director, a stage manager, perhaps, would be the name. What did you say we need? You need a stage. Imagine a play and you don't have a stage. What else do you need? Props. What are props? We are going to talk about that. Somebody mentioned props. You need actors. Oh, you need actors. Imagine having a play and you don't have actors. A stylist. I like that. And they are going to tell you in full what that is called. Because there's more. Before we even get to the stylist, somebody must sew those clothes. And somebody called a costume designer must design costumes according to the script and the look. And then there are people whose job must be to take care of the laundry of that cast every night. Because, hey, did you see how much they move? Mujuluko wating. Right? What else do we need? Scripts. You said a writer, yes. We started by introducing a writer. Somebody said we need makeup. Hey, in theater we do our own makeup. We get it done. What happened to the mics? You didn't give them the mics? These ones? My panel? So how are we doing that? They can share at times, but I want to start this entire thing. Make them free so that they can just hold. I want to start this with you, DDG, because we're speaking skills. And you, being in the CET, would know for me the difference between skills that take 3 years to train or skills that somebody can be taught in a week workshop, bandile, or in three months. And the difference and how we then officialize all these things that are able to be done in spaces like the Market Theatre. I want to start with you so that you give us direction when I come to Max and challenge him, because these are the pillars of the work that he does together with his other colleagues. And when we come to Tiamo to put what is available at the Market Theatre in perspective, we go even further.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying, well done, what a great performance by the 4 performers. Wonderful, wonderful play, not just entertaining, but very educational as well. And as I had said earlier, it gives us, it's a recent history, but I think it's a history that's gonna carry on for 100 years to come. The story of 10 years ago will be told for many years to come. I'm happy you started off by asking what are the skills. And already when we went through the exhibitions, we saw some of those skills. Some of you who went there may have seen them. And some of these skills are offered currently at Gauteng City College. For an example, the makeup. And when we spoke to them, they indicated that it takes about 3 months to go through the makeup program. We also saw fashion design. Beautiful, beautiful fashion design that is also done there. So you can literally move from short skills to short-term skills to medium-term to long-term. And as you know, depending on whether you're doing a non-formal program or an accredited program or the level of the program in which you are doing, you can even advance to a TVET college or even a university for that matter, depending. As you all very well know, that drama, for an example, you spoke about actors. Drama, you can register for a drama degree at a university. But let's keep it at the level where we are now and where we want to take it. We already have some of the skills being offered. It may not be to the full extent, but our discussions with the Market Theatre and with collaboration with the sitters, in particular, Kath Sitter, who's very supportive of this program, is that beyond today, we are going to get into a discussion to say which skills can be readily offered at Gauteng CET College. Because we want to start this, if I do my calculations right, and looking into the processes of government, going through the memorandum of agreements, securing the funding, going through all the paperwork, and remember the due process that they were talking about in the play? We also have a due process in the department. I would say implementation could be early 2026. Early 2026. We grow on the current skills that are currently being offered.
Live in the country where makeup is a daily, where nails is a daily form, where hair is important. We also have CET College in Tembisa that is doing daily things that we buy in stores. which is your bleach, which is your domestos, which is your dishwashers. Those are things that are very important with the country that we're living in currently. It is difficult getting a job. So having a skill that you do by yourself is a start that can create big opportunities. When we start a business, it also helps us employ the generation, as we know that a lot of youth is unemployed. Also, skills that could empower the youth is agriculture. One of our CET members had mentioned that when the CET college can start implementing teaching students on how to close potholes, those are things that could better the students, that could better also the country. Training students with doing simple thing as filling a pothole, it can create big change in the country. CET colleges have grown. Yes, we are still not known and we are still babies, but I believe that CET will take a lot of students to big heights. Thank you.
Shall I come to you first? I would like to ask you, and I want you to take this into the neighboring CETAs as well, because you work together. So checking also what MICT CETA does and what FPNM does and what, what's the other partner in this program? Services and MICT. So if we look at this, and you look at where we sit today, you just had her mention skills. She's mentioning the skills that are present in the CET space. It's not the skills that would necessarily get a young person on here. I always say there isn't a CETA that isn't relevant to the arts, but they think I say this because I'm an artist. You need construction CETA people for us to stand on stage. You need electricians for us to have lights. So, in fact, every CETA should be concerned with the program that you want to start. But from Cath CETA, how do you believe you would be able to grow the work of the CETs in supporting spaces like the Market Theatre Foundation and all the programs they have?
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me take this opportunity to greet the Honorable Deputy Minister and also DDG Fuchani and the leadership of the Market Theatre, the CET College, and our esteemed guests. Indeed, we appreciate this opportunity because to me, it is taking us to the basics. When we are sitting with a high percentage of unemployment, and particularly the youth at around 60%, we should be worried. And as Cath CETA, the conversations that we have been having recently is that we have been funding programs that are not really giving us immediate, opportunities in terms of those who complete to really get into jobs. We conducted track and tracer studies. You find that those people are struggling to get jobs, and we are changing a direction to say, let's look at programs that will help us to get absorption. So to me, the CET, DDG Fuchani will recall that since last year I've been saying, let's sit and talk, DDG Fuchani, because you are sitting in a space whereby within a short space, we can get people into jobs. For instance, when we were moving, through the exhibitions, outside earlier with the Deputy Minister, when I saw the young man who's saying he's repairing cell phones, it reminded me of a conversation I had with the CEO of MICT CETA just on Friday, where he was saying, you see, the media is saying CETAs are not doing anything. And actually we are having programs, and he gave an example of saying, I've got a second cohort now of learners that have graduated from a program for repairing cell phones, and I also offer them startups. So I am saying, as CETAs, we work in partnership with stakeholders. We don't work alone. So let us join hands, and we will definitely, as Cath CETA, with all those other CETAs that we are working with, take this partnership forward, engage with the DDG, with the CETs, and we invest where we can see immediate, impact in terms of those skills that are there. So, because we are facing a problem as a country, and the only solution is what we know that it can work. I mean, if a person in 4 weeks is able to get training and go and start a saloon, that in itself now is going to assist the country to take that person, you know, off the grant system, because they will now start being self-sufficient. Yes, we know the challenge may be startups. Perhaps these are the issues that we may also have to look at. If MICTICITA says that they are also looking into that, we will definitely, as CITAS, look into what we can do. We may not really start, you know, at a high scale, but then if you take, I mean, a particular number of learners that you put into the program, then you work from that point and you assist them with the startups. So we are more than open to have this engagement further. We are actually excited, because our role is to facilitate skills development, even though the issue of employability is not our primary role. But we have a responsibility to ensure that our programs are leading the people who benefit from them into employment. Thank you.
So let me put it to you that skills in the arts lead to immediate employability, even though that employment may not be permanent. It is gig-to-gig employment. And we are in a gig economy. So a young person that she gets to teach how to properly hold a camera, how to harvest light and take the right picture, even with just a cell phone, can tomorrow have a job as a junior in a communications department so that they capture quick things like this for social media purposes, but those without the skills would not be able to take it. So we are excluding young people because we are not giving them the immediates that must take them through into spaces. Bandile, for photography and the market workshop, this is the one place that I used to love for years, where I could see that photography, my knowledge of professional photography was very snooty. I knew photography students at the Michaelis School of Arts. I was very afraid of them. I used to look at them and just think, whoa, and they carry these big lenses and huge bags and, you know, and before they can take one picture, they stand and they take it. It takes the whole day. And I became afraid of the camera. I was never going to be the person that touches it from the other side. How many opportunities exist today for young people, old people? What I love about the CET space is it's a second and last chance place for anyone. It doesn't say, get out, this is only for 27-year-olds. It lets everybody in. How do we get to a place where we create stuff in partnership with spaces like yours, where at the CET college in Gauteng, we then say there's a module or a program that is taught specifically at the Market Theatre Workshop? Do things like that have space somewhere in the kind of work and the kind of training that gets done?
Well, definitely. I would love to say greetings to everyone in the room. The photo workshop actually works in a way that's a bit open, because we've got two streams, big streams. We have the formal training, the accredited foundation course, just the foundation course, and you can graduate, which is 6 months. You graduate to the intermediate course, it's another 3 months, and then you choose a stream to either go towards, I'll say, conceptual photography, or to go towards documentary or photojournalism. So there's that process that you could, and access to the foundation is at level 4. So it accommodates people who don't have metric. So that's how, and then the exit aspect of it, we have got a partnership and understanding with VETS that some of our students can actually enter an honors program at VETS who follow the conceptual stream after finishing the full program up to, we call it the advanced program in photography, that one. And the one who follow the documentary photojournalism scheme, what normally happens is that before there was space in the newsroom so people can access that way, but now with the news space as it is, people are more doing photography work, short-term work, and they like NGO work, and there's so many other platforms actually, especially online platforms for people with those kinds of skills. And then we have what we call public engagement programs. And we do training 1 week about, and then it's like basic camera work with some understanding on kind of like a foundation level of theory.
What is a public engagement program?
So-
What does it teach me to become, to be able to do?
Basically, it's issue-based training using photography, using visual storytelling, understanding how to see a picture, how to take a story, basically. And that training can last 2 days, can last a week. And we not do it only at the photo workshop here, but we've got programs in different communities that we do it. Like part of my team, they are in Grahamstown right now because they did a project with women in the Eastern Cape. And now that project, they're showcasing it at the Grahamstown Arts Festival. So we have those kinds of programs. So it's very possible to be able to get a skill in photography and understanding how to read pictures as well, because that's another skill, within a short space of time, and then you do what most photographers do, which is in the gig economy, as you're saying, you're freelancing your skill. And people support themselves as wedding photographers, people support themselves as events photographers from different skills level within photography. Some of the UCC students who have been studying for 3 years and they end up being events photographers. But it also depends where and how and what kind of level. So there's so many entry points with this particular skill that you can use, basically. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to take it to Tiamo because then everything we've discussed says the Market Theatre Foundation in its entirety, starting from this side, from the other side of the rail track, all the way to Sophia Town. Is Baseline with you? No. No longer operates. So that's why you moved Brenda Fassi here. Okay.
They used to steal her mic.
Oh, we see. All right. So, looking at what we are talking about now, the possibility of saying for us to operate where we are, we do need an influx of skill and we do need to train. How do we find ourselves opening up the spaces to train, but making sure these are in formalized programs that are not, one of the biggest trouble, by the way, in the sector, DDG and Marx would tell you, the Deputy Minister will also tell you, is scammers and fake, bogus institutions that will say, come, we're going to teach you photography, that will even steal the image of the Market Theatre workshop, photo workshop. Meanwhile, you could have found programs within spaces that can be trusted because they trust the department's logo that is at your door. How do we find these young people, their interests in the art, being opened up for access to programs that lead them to be on stages like this, on the stage, behind, and around? It's a lot of things, I know.
You left a difficult question for me.
Yes, we will all get involved with it.
There's one thing that I wanted to, just on the skills thing before I come, but I've got my note here.
You can start with it. You can start with it.
In terms of skills, I'm going to try something. I might just fail dismally, but Arbon. Did you guys notice how the performers did not use mics, but you could still hear them? And Rona Morenzi, aids to speak. That's also something else, voice training, physical movement. And then to come back to you, I mean, there are so many other skills and careers that you can explore. Some of you, I'm sure, Lipona lady influencers, go TikTok, followers.
Bring back the mic.
Okay, sorry, you got the bit. And there's marketing. That's another thing that goes into putting up show Yatwanale the fall. And I was disappointed hore Buncha and I have never been go market theatre. Not with you, but kameroko onna kuwezang, and my team do. Because that's also another skill. You also need administrators. We can't all be actors, can't all be directors, singers, stage managers. Did you guys see the crew at the back there? And all the equipment that they're running.
Do you want to look at the top there?
I mean, I call them the men in black. You never see them. Mara ke bona ba etsang magic happen on stage. Also in the sides, in the wings. And then you also need people like us, the administrators. And for me, I'm the fixer between what you process, the artists. And that's also another skill. Just starting from knowing how to handle simple red tape, paperwork, application form, your own finances. Because I'm not all my fair and you eat that kilo rana show. No. Utsanto tomega budget. Utrisise hore le subject topic ke batlang go dila ka yona. Batho ba nyaga na or ke etsetsa nna le family yaka. And if go na le family ya how are you enough go tlatsa le ba kae ka 450, right? 450 seats for a week. No, you're not. So what's the prospect of success there? So there's a lot. There's a lot. And the nice thing is for us, we can start. You can start. I think our industry has some of the lowest barriers to entry for us. And that's why Rona, as market theatre, you know, we have the programs that we have that makes it accessible to everyone. I liked what you said, already CETs are the beginnings and the endings.
Yeah,
or the
second chance and
second
very last
chances
chance.
and very last chances for everybody. And that's exactly how we see it. Little Nagadi programs are on. Harbatlu yetsa difficulty for you to come in. We want to be able to welcome you where you are because we see ourselves as a stepping stone for you. We always love photo workshop, always bapela ba maratiamo. How can you say that? I see photo workshop with the courses that they teach as a stepping stone. Bandil has already said, Hore, how graduate you can go to vets. We see it as some of the courses are credit bearing. So what stops us from, you know, trying to get from our NQF level 4 program into maybe any of the CET, you know, programs that may be, you know, higher accredited, or in the reverse, where if they've got lower accreditations, that as they progress, they can choose, you know, the graduates can choose to then continue training yabona leron. Chelete, how do we make the circle bigger and open more?
Yes.
Chelete epela eli tidy. I think everybody knows that. But it is about cutting through or at least maybe not cutting through the due process, because you can't cut through the due process. It's always there. But finding a way to manage it that for 6 months, decide before we get to it. I'm very pragmatic. Mr. Shabalala was, in planning this, was hyperventilating because I'm like, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need it by then, and then can we move on?
And it can be done.
And it can be done.
So here's how I see it. The performing arts space is full of career opportunities for everybody. The thing that isn't happening is we are not creating enough roads and bridges for Marx to bring through people that will get beneficial training instead of those that he says are just being trained, but on track and trace you realize they're back in the queue wanting another learnership. We should be able to say, oh, you train them at your wardrobe, what did you make them do? And we see what they're able to do. And next time when we're at the theater, we see them on the credit in the program. Next time when we're at the theater, we see photos taken by those young people who had to do the marketing work. As she said, you market the shows. So there is a whole lot more about wanting to work at the theater than wanting to be an actor. By the way, I do want people to want to be actors. Do we have mics? I want us to ask questions to the people on stage that will help you make new decisions for yourself. Just raise your hand or stand. They might not see you, the people with the mic. I'll start with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mpumi Dlamini, teacher at Music Academy of Gauteng. I'm a jazz musician, film scorer, etc. I do a lot of things. I think this is a statement slash question. One of the problems we have in our industry as musicians is educators. You know, I have a friend of mine who's a politician who I won't mention here. He refers to us as creatives, and then they refer to themselves as academics, which has always been a problem for us creatives because some of us are also academic. You know, but the problem is that within the arts, we don't focus enough on theory. And theory is what is going to open up everything. So I do, for example, I'm the scorer for SpongeBob. I do the South African version. I do Timon and Pumbaa. I score a lot of TV shows. Nice. But I was able to switch at any point because I went to Drakensberg Boys, so my theory was on point. So I can switch into any, whether I'm scoring a play or anything. So for me, that's why I said it's a statement and a question thing. We need to, as young people, you need to really focus on the theoretical part. But as I think, as a department, there's a lack within I'm not going to mention schools. One of the issues we have from a CETA standpoint is there's that learnership period that needs to happen. Unfortunately, there's no such for a musician because if you have to go get experience, who's going to sign that document for you? Because we don't have like somebody that's going to overlook, because for us, you have to go gig. Let's say you go play with Judith, for example. She's not going to sign that learnership thing for you. So that's why majority musicians don't have qualifications, which brings us to that other question of where you're going to get your educators for theory now. We don't have that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a question slash statement thing. So how do we mitigate that gap in learnership for musicians, if we have that? And then lastly, do we have a program that caters for the looming threat that we've not discussed now, which is AI? You know, as a photographer, I don't really need to book her because I can generate an image. But at the same time, I still need to book her because I can't generate an image of a wedding that I didn't attend. You know what I'm saying? So do we have a program that is going to create something? Because I know now there's something called prompt engineering, which is a big industry at this point. So you can engineer anything. You can prompt almost anything. So that's another thing, because almost majority of these children here have cell phones. They can already start with that, because we were speaking, the gentleman here spoke about what's immediate. So what's immediate is there's a course, there's a Udemy course, but I think we should have one, a local, that deals with prompt engineering, because that crosses all boundaries, from music to dance to everything, scripts, right? Scripts, but you still need Umam Florence to still overlook, you know what I'm saying? So do we have a program that's going to cover the AI? And another thing, what do we do about the learnership thing?
Okay, I'm going to ask the CEO of MICT CETA, wave to the young, beautiful people out here, Mr. Madivana. Mr. Matume Madivana. I will have him answer that when I come to the answers. I want to take 4. Yeah? You have the mic.
Dumelang. My name is Mpontla Tleng. I'm from All Africa Media Foundation. Yeah, I see some of my CEOs here. I used to fight so much with them because I was sitting here at some point and I felt so misunderstood. I still feel misunderstood. But what I wanted to say is, I remember the first time, I'm running CETA programs, by the way. I started running CETA programs 2019. My first funder was MICT CETA. I was on a learnership myself, and the stress. But all I'm going to say today is that they said, okay, we will still support you and support you. But what I wanted to say to the CETAs is that young people shouldn't be only relevant when it's Youth Month or only being beneficiaries. We are more than capable of running these programs. The guy that just spoke before me, you can hear that he's got a lot of experience. He's able to run programs, and we are hoping that government really starts saying, Bona, let's maybe not just give them bursaries or be beneficiaries. Let's give them more support in running the programs. And, you know, and also this conversation that we're having, I'm a film producer, by the way, so when Florence Abuamole, I'm becoming very emotional. That's why I was clapping on my own. Because she understands the conversation of the creative industry. We're not just about standing on stage, but we are an industry that's not just about creatives. We've got a lot of intellects that we need. And we are hoping that the seaters will also understand that. As I'm currently studying law, because I realize, oh, hey, yeah, there's a need of me getting into tax, you know, and all of that. There's a need of me able to read contracts. Is that don't just look at creative industry qualifications, but how we can upskill creatives into becoming administrators, as Ostiamo once said, as Ostiamo said. And Deputy Minister, I'm hoping that you'll be able to speak to your colleague as well to say that such conversations mustn't just be the students, but also the practitioners as well, so that they are able to tell us what works and what does not work. And the seaters need to understand where they fall. Like with FPM seater and services seater, when you're having a conversation with them as a creative, they say, no, but we are not creative seaters. And FPM seater is a creative industry seater. So to conclude, I'm just saying, please, young people need to also be in the forefront where they are running the programs, because we understand the issues of young people more than anyone else. Thank you.
There's a gentleman behind you who's had his hand up, and then we'll come to her.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lesego Kendall, and I'm from the Sharpeville CLC.
Take the mic slightly away from you. Thank you.
I'm from the Sharpeville CLC. I wanted to ask, in terms of photography, as I'm interested into furthering my studies with photography, what requirements do I need for me to come and enroll for the course, and what other opportunities are there for me? Thank you.
Greetings to the house at large. I go by the name of Noltando Njogo. I am part of the Gauteng CET SRC. I would like to give a brief plea to the sitters. As you are organizing or trying to evolve us as students from whatever level that we are to get to the level that we are able to see accomplishment and success within us, can we try to consider the locations or surroundings that our CETs are located? We can't be having, let me say, computer studies in a CLC that the skills are not used. Can we put skills according to locations so that we can see improvement, so that we are able to see success? Our producer here was speaking about art. Art is everything. Makeup is art in our CETs, so that we are able to involve. It's very disheartening to not hear anyone mentioning drawings. We are really living within drawings. There are people that say, I prefer my picture being drawn and painted, and it brings life. My nails are made from an artist. They were drawn from scratch. It assists us to evolve our skills and bring them to an enlightened performance. And also, I wanted to bring forward that we do have people like myself. I'm very good in public speaking and debate, but honestly speaking, I can perform a poem, but not one that is written by me. So how do I go about? How do I represent someone that says, I am good at writing a poem, but I cannot recite it? Can I be there to assist? Can it be a skill? Can it be a program? Can it be something that is recognized? Because not all of us is able to stand in the podium and say, I am who I am with them. So can we do that? Can we bring it into our CETs? Together we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take you and ask that we wrap up the Q&A.
Okay, greetings.
Please stand up. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Musa, and my question is, how does CETAs assist alumni who has completed and opened businesses? Like, for instance, I have a business, like it's a luxurious car wash, mobile car wash. So what I do is I do house calls. So as in, how does a CETA assist me that has a business like that to progress? And also like other people that like do, third parties in delivering food, products like that, so on. Thank you.
Venture creation support, I'm hearing there. Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Mr. Madibana, and ask that you answer that gentleman's question.
Thanks very much, and good morning once more, and apologies for delayed arrival. I was in another meeting. Critical to note is the opportunities that are there in the CETA space to all young people, that there are plenty of opportunities. Just beyond becoming skills development providers, you also should be applying to become assessors and moderators with ETDP CETA, because there's plenty of opportunities there, particularly in the 4R space. I'm from MICT CETA, that is the Media, Information and Communications Technology Sector Education and Training Authority. One of our biggest subsectors is IT. Somebody talked about AI, and that's a big space, it's a buzzword. That is what is going to create sort of a differentiator across various sectors of the economy. So we need to take advantage of those opportunities. Within the CETA space, what qualifies you for any of our programs, it's simply matric. If you have matriculated, you have all the chances of becoming whatever you want to become. About a week ago, we were at Tshwane South TVET College, the other side of Tshwane. One of the learners there developed a solution within the IoT space, that's Internet of Things. That learner studied management assistant. After realizing that it's not giving her what she wants, in other words, there are no opportunities, she went into nail practitioner during COVID. It didn't work out, but she eventually went for a 3-month program in Internet of Things, the other side of Tshwane, through one of our providers. As we speak, they are about to complete that IoT program. And if a child who did management assistance has managed to adapt to IoT, which has a combination of electronics, has a combination of coding, and also a combination of IoT, that tells you that some of these programs are very easy to adapt to and adjust. So the curriculum is very important. We need not remain stereotyped and think only through a degree will you find, a breakthrough into a better future. If I were to make any changes, I would channel more young people into TVET space and CETAs, because companies nowadays target practical experience, practical exposure, as opposed to theory. Don't forget, universities only offer theory. I'm a product of university. If I were to make any changes and start afresh, I would target a TVET college, because there's plenty of opportunities to build your own business. I will target a CETA as a second alternative, because of the power that it gives you in terms of more majority of exposure into real work experience. So for those who are in the industry, it's very important that you also contribute when we develop curriculum, as in that which responds to what the industry requires. It's very important that you actively also contribute into the development of curriculum, such that the content that we develop is as aligned as it possibly should align. So I encourage all those who are within the industry to ensure that when we start development of qualifications, you actively participate in terms of contributing to the curriculum that we are developing, that the industry requires, so that we develop only and strictly much needed programs for the industry, because our purpose and objective as theatres is one, is to ensure that as we bridge the gap between academia or education and the industry, we prioritize only and strictly what the industry requires, nothing more, nothing less. That's why MICT CETA, I'm not promoting MICT CETA, has developed more than 55 4IR-related qualifications, because we have to provide critically skills that the industry is in dire need of, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you very much. Let me hand over to other colleagues.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Tiamo to answer the issue of learnership, but to look at whichever one was relevant, even as you answer. Broaden it a bit, because I'm not going to come back to you. So I'm giving everybody a chance to pick a question to answer and close. I'm going to come to you, and then I'm going to come to Katsita as well. And I'll ask you to give us the last remark, and then I will leave it with the student.
Thank you. There was a question about, or I can't remember, I think it was from Mpo, about the creative versus technical seaters and stuff. I think the photo workshop finds itself in that weird space.
Yes.
So we're accredited by MICT, MICT. So the training is technical, and then we use
But
that
the work is
in an
artistic.
artistic output. And that's where, I mean,
that's where he must come in.
Before we even, it took us forever to try and convince, either or, until we figured out, okay, you know what, chances are the best place to get this accreditation would be on the technical side with the MICT, and then the creative would be the output of it, and we'll just forgo that. So yeah.
Forgo that?
Yeah, at the moment,
Did you hear that, Deputy Minister? So you forgo the creative part of what happens at the market photo workshop because we don't have something in place that speaks to that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the challenge we have. When you create what CAPCETA can be able to support via your CET centers, we can then come back and say it's a thing that now takes care of the creative part of the work that Bandile and the workshop are doing.
Yeah, because it's a technical...
It sounds easy to say, but I know how difficult it is once you do your due processes.
Due process. And then on the question of theory, I feel very strongly about it. Linda, I'm a university graduate, but I'm very practical about it. I think we do need the theory, but if we ask ourselves where most of us are starting out and whether or not we are immediately able to get to Wits, UP, Stellenbosch and the like right now, probably not. And again, one of the things that we push in terms of our training is we teach a skill, and we also teach you support skills around that on how to sustain yourself as you go. So Bandile, we used to, I don't know if we still offer it, but we used to offer, bontate ba ne ba tsamayang ka Sunday ko locationeng ba tseya ditshwantsho. That's a business. That's a skill. And we look down on it because it's like, I don't want to be walking around like that. But there's a guy in the mall next door who has a full photography studio. That is entrepreneurship, that is running it. So start where you are and work and aspire to that. Now I see us as the steps that lead us to you getting that qualification, because yeah, sure, you can put it into ChatGPT or any of the, AI generators and tell them to compose a song for you. Some of them even edit a whole movie for you. But it's never going to have the same soul that you would if you put a touch to it. It's a discussion that we're having as the theater. What is theater? I'm sure when one of you was clapping as you were watching the fall and as they were singing, it became contagious, right? And you feed off of everybody's energy in the room. Anyone odlalang Xbox, PlayStation? In the public rooms, right? You can chat and speak to somebody somewhere else in the world. I don't want that encroaching on us, but on the market theater, because I still want you here physically. But at the same time, I can't ignore that. I can't ignore that. What do I do? Can I put a virtual reality thing of a tour of the Market Theatre in there? So, yeah.
Okay. Can I have marks? That is both, and we've got to stop living in a world of boxes. The boxes left us in 2000, guys. We are just not aware. When we were busy going, the fourth industrial revolution is coming. We thought it was a train that was arriving in uniform. It was not. The changes happen as we move. So if the changes today say we don't have a solid line between technical and creative, let's look at how we bring that together and make it work. Mr. Tibela?
Thank you. Perhaps I forgot earlier to indicate what CATHSITA stands for, because we shouldn't assume that everyone understands. CATHSITA stands for Culture, Arts, Tourism, Hospitality and Sports Sector Education and Training Authority. So when the mention was made of arts happening everywhere, it is indeed true, even in hospitality. The chef there, I mean, the way in which they cook is a kind of an art that's happening. So, Program Director, there's two things I want to address here. One being to say to the youth, we need to just have a mindset change. It is not always the case that you will need to have a degree. What you need is a skill in some trades or in some occupations. You can get a skill, then you go all out, like one young man was talking about how to get a startup or fund it. Then you go all out, you Google. I mean, we live in the world of, AI. You get to understand how to start a business. Then Companies and Intellectual Property Commission is there. You will get all the steps how to register a business. You are linked already to SARS, to bank accounts. So we live in a world where things are possible in this day and era. And you'll find that you may have gone through a CET training program, and you come and do better than those who are still doing the 3-year, 4-year qualifications, because you have been able to know the channels that you have to follow in terms of registering a business, you see. So that is very, very important. So unfortunately, I do not want to make a promise or a commitment to say SITAs can fund everyone to start a business, because we have a lot of government institutions that are set up in terms of laws. They have their responsibilities. For instance, you have the Small Enterprise Finance and Development Agency. That used to be two different entities. It was the Small Enterprise Development Agency helping you with business plans, and there was the financing part. Now they've combined into one. Then you walk into their offices or Google, you will get all the steps in terms of how to develop a business plan, how to really get funding and all that.
Sorry to cut in, CEO. He's also young enough to walk to the NYDA, and they are waiting for young people like him.
Thank you. So you have all that, basket of really services that government institutions are offering. So we work collaboratively. When you come to us, we don't say, no, we're not the right one. We will say to you, what do you want? Then you explain. We guide you in terms of where to start and how do you come to us. So that is how it is working. So I believe, if we can really move from that point of saying what I need is a skill, if the area that I'm interested in doesn't need a degree, do not worry about others who will say, but you don't have a degree. You don't need a degree. You need a skill. So that is what is important. You can then display that the skill that I have, I'll be able to produce. Then you can run a business. So let us really make decisions or choices properly and not follow the majority because you want to be belonging. Because I want to have a degree, others have a degree. No, we are out of that at this point in time. It's about what will really work for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bandile, please answer the young man who was over there, the photographer. He had a very simple question.
Basically, you can register at any point of the year, but it also depends on when the particular course you want will be starting. We have 2-year courses that start in January, but we have courses that start in January and one starting right now in July, the foundation one, and the intermediate one, they will have 3 in a year, so if you look at it that way. But we have a stand just outside here, and There are former students actually that are minding our stand, and they will give you information you want, and they can talk to you about what are they doing professionally themselves now as well.
Thank you. There's also a young person here who spoke about being able to bring words to life that other people have written. Young lady, you're a performer. Go speak to the Market Theatre Laboratory about their programs. That's what, it has a name, what you do. It's performing. The scripts are not from the actors. They are always written by a whole room of people. I'm going to go to you, and then I will end it with the DDG.
Okay, in closing, I'm really looking forward to the CETA having a conversation with the DDG, hoping that CET students can also be offered bursaries to further their education. I'm hoping that students can really take knowledge of what is said. There's nothing more powerful than your brain. Let's not block ourselves. Let's not look at us as students in CETs that we are the babies. We can change the stigma about CET colleges. That needs to start from us as an individual. CET is us rewriting our journey through life. You don't carry life with the mistakes, but the most important thing is what you do to get up and dust yourself. Thank you.
DDG Fushane, I'm going to ask you to please wrap it up for us.
Thank you very much. I think this discussion has been very helpful in terms of being practical and how do we take this forward. And I agree with, I think one of the SRCs, I think it was Nolitando, was saying, when we offer these skills, let us make sure that they speak to the locations where the centers are located. I think that's very important. And the engagements must start there to say what is required at that particular center, and then we take it up so that we don't end up taking something that is probably not needed in that community. So that is one of the starting points. The issue of the skills that will lead to employability, I think, is also important. I'm very pleased when you spoke about the issue about this space being a space where you can immediately start, depending on the skill that you have, and building onto that. One of the work that we are doing in relation to assisting our CET college students with even self-employment is we are working with CEDA, and we are also working with the Alan Gray Foundation in terms of an entrepreneurship program. And of course, we want to build on that in that space. We are also working on developing entrepreneurship hubs within the centers, because the entrepreneurship hubs will help and harness cooperatives and give them a secure space to do a startup, whether it's individual or it's in the form of cooperatives. I think what is coming out from these discussions, and particularly with CET students, you will find that more needs to be done than just give the skill. What after the skill? It's not enough to say you have trained the person, whether it's short-term, 2 months, 3 months, or a year or 2 years. It is important to plan at the point of training, or just prior to training, to say, this is going to be the exit strategy. And our proposals with CAT CETA and MICT CETA are going to be speaking to that, to say, we are going to offer this program, but the training and the skill that the students are going to get will have an end in mind in terms of the opportunities beyond getting that skill. For us, that is very important. And then in closing, I just want to indicate that CET is ready to take up this space. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You may leave the mics on the chairs. Thank you all so much. We could have taken this conversation for the whole day, but I want you as the students, as the SRCs, to take advantage of the space that is now ripe for you to have such discussions among yourself within the CET space. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you for having the conversation. We are running. Do you want a song? We're ready. One song. You can give us a song. Because I don't know how to introduce the Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training. if you could give him one song as he comes on. And then he will speak, and then you will give us another song, because we will then have vote of thanks by Memati Enoche from the Gauteng CET College.
Dumela, iyo dumela, CET dumela, CET dumela, CET dumela, iyo dumela, batla re sheba ba re shebe. Batla re shebela mahala, batla bolawa ke pelo. Iyo dumela, batla re shebe, batla re shebe. Imfundo. Siyaziqhenya ngemfundo yethu, asoze saphela amandla. Kopa le meleng libine, ke a le kopa. Siyaziqhenya ngemfundo yethu, asoze saphela amandla. Ekwazini, asoze saphela amandla. Asoze saphela amandla. DK. Saphela amandla. Asoze saphela amandla. Yes, students. Greetings to everyone within the room. For now, I'm going to hand over the mic to our DM. This is our Deputy Minister. Please give him the stage and relax. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Program Director. Let me firstly start by thanking the CEO of the Market Theatre, who's our host today, and who agreed to host us. Oh. Thank you, yeah. Who's agreed to host us together with the DDG of our community colleges, community education and training colleges, and our 4 seaters who their CEOs are here. Kath SETA, FP&M SETA, MICT SETA, and Services SETA, who are our host today. But I think more importantly, yourselves and also the students, we have a very beautiful uniformed collective here of the SRC leadership. But I think all of you also, thank you very much for being here and being part of this activity. So today is the close or the last day of the Youth Month. And what better way to wrap up Youth Month with a beautiful performance of The Fall, which is I suppose, the crew's interpretation of The Fees Must Fall. Itself, I think the way in which students 10 years ago or this current generation built a block into the foundation that was laid by the youth of June 16, 1976. And so I think to suggest that students or young people are apolitical or politically inactive was proven historically wrong because of the role that young people have played post-1994. To say that we are going to build on the foundation that has been built historically, and we're going to build on this foundation in a better way that also responds to the challenges, the contemporary challenges that we faced with as the current generation. And so part of the main message from government, and I suppose a message that should reverberate with young people, should be that as this generation we will find our way to continue on all of that work that has been done historically, because we, being alive today, being alive to the challenges that we're confronted with, and being true to our history, we will shape our own future. And so that's one of the elements of what we're doing today to wrap up or to put an end to the last day of the Youth Month. And I've had one of you, one of the contributors, speaking about the fact that young people should not be remembered only on Youth Day or Youth Month, and that it is our job, especially as the Department of Higher Education and Training, because we work with young people on a daily basis. When I wake up, I have to remember that there is 1.3 million students who go to university. There is more than 600,000 students who go to TVET colleges, and even more close to 200,000 students who are at our community colleges, and some who are being served nationally by our sector education and training authorities and various agencies that we've put in place as the Department of Higher Education. Their daily preoccupation is young people. That's our work, and that's what this government is here for, especially through this department, young people. And that's why here it's about a reflection of all of those things that we do as the department for young people. But the second important thing that we thought we should use today for is to observe the 10th anniversary of our community education and training institutions, historically known as adult schools, and their target mainly being for adults who want to continue with their education, be it academic or skills program, and that this sector is now or has been in the higher education and training or post-school education and training sector for the last 10 years. And so we are commemorating that. It's a sector which is finding its space and place in the sunshine of the post-school education and training sector. It's a sector that has a footing, but it's also a sector which has a potential to become a catalyst in terms of our skills program. One of the CEOs who was speaking here from the CETA was talking about how there is a chase for degrees. In fact, someone was asking one of the people who are exhibiting there as to why are we having certain programs as non-formal programs. When you come to a community college, the idea is now beyond getting a paper that certifies you that you've been to a community college. Yes, it's important. But what's even more important is the skill that you get from that community college. Because at the age when you've decided you're now going into a community college, it is at that age where you've decided what kind of skills you want and how that skill is going to help you in whatever business or entrepreneurship that you want to pursue. So, yes, formal or non-formal, it's important we categorize those skills, but what's the use of having a certificate, which you should have, proof that you've attended a qualification program, if you cannot do some of the things that those whom you're going to see who are at exhibition centers now can do. It filled me with pride when I had one of the students from our community colleges pointing at things that she has done. Bleach, cleaner, all of those things, and she says, these are from my hands, and that's what community colleges are for, okay? And I think we shouldn't forget that. So that's the second thing, the 10th anniversary of our community colleges. And our DDG, Fuchani, together with her team in the Department of Higher Education and Training, working together with principals, with students, and everyone in the sector, have made sure that we are up to where we are, but also are committed to take this sector forward. And I've listened to some of the proposals and some of the suggestions that have been made from here. And I hope we will take those forward. The third thing that we are here for is not just to talk and not just to look at the play and not just to listen to you, but also to plant a seed, a discussion which the department, together with the Market Theatre Laboratory and our sector education and training authorities, will have to start. And so there's an inkling. I heard our DDG mumbling something around the creative sector, picking out something. I don't know what skill she picked, and said, yes, it falls within the creative sector. But the intention is for us to have a full-blown, I don't know if it's called faculty or formal or non-formal skills program in the creative sector provided in our community colleges. So Market Theatre Lab has got the capacity. They're already doing this. They've been doing this for some time. And supported by various CETAs. But what we are saying here today is that those who have access to Market Theatre programs are very few and very limited. So Market Theatre cannot be able to reach out to as many young people who are out there. We are responsible for 4 million young people who are categorized as not in employment, education, or training. And those are the young people we need to expand some of these programs to. So through this collaboration, we want to see it through so that when one goes into a community college, they're able to study some of the programs that you all suggested and said, we need them for us to ultimately see a play. Okay? Those programs, at the level they're not provided for at technical and vocational education and training institutions, at the level they're not provided for at universities, those programs should and will be provided for in our community college and within spaces which community college students can be able to afford and access. Okay? So that discussion has to happen earnestly so that we build this capacity. We collaborate not only with the Market Theatre Lab, but with whoever is active in theatre space. So I don't have to be accused to favor the Market Theatre. Anyway, this is a state institution, nothing wrong when there is that kind of collaboration, which is important. But we have to build that internal capacity, and it has to start here with the Gauteng Community College, with the SETAs that are involved, and with the potential of us maximizing all of this, so that if someone wants to go and study, learn the skill that has to do with the creative sector, they know that one of the places they can go to is a community college. So for me, if that ultimately happens, that would be a mark of a successful commemoration of this year's Youth Month, and also a successful commemoration of the 10th anniversary of the community education and training sector. So we need to remember this, that all of us were part of putting our fingerprints on what would become a game changer. And also this would obviously have to guide in terms of the various other skills that we have to introduce in our community colleges. Long and past should be those days when students go into community colleges and all they do is, and important as they are, those programs, your National Senior Certificate, amended, and so on and so forth, but that there has to be a much more, more options in terms of a suite of programs and skills programs that one can study and learn at a community college. This is a beginning of that journey. So I really want to thank all of you who've contributed into this becoming a success, and also looking into the future. You might have had, or you might have not been here before. This may be your first time being in a theater space, or some of you may be coming here as often as possible. I want to encourage you to do so, because these spaces can only succeed if they are supported by all of us. All right? You may also not have had, some of you who are here, most do, but you may also not have heard of community colleges. And so go out and spread the words. Many of you have heard of SETAs, especially in the last few months. You may know about sector education and training authorities. Some of you may have had and thought of them as being something else. These are skills authorities for particular sectors, and the ones we've invited here have a bearing on the creative sector. But they're doing a lot of work in various other sectors, in infrastructure, you've had in construction, you've had in energy, you've had in water, in chemicals, in public service and administration, in services. I can go on and on about a lot of SETAs in manufacturing and so on and so forth. And they've been doing quite well I think since 1998 or so when they were all established. And they've made a huge impact in terms of the skills program of in our country, working together with our community colleges, also working together with institutions such as Market Theatre Lab. They are sponsoring some of the students who are attending programs at the Market Theatre Lab. They're doing quite a lot of work with our universities, with our TVET colleges. And so this is one of those innovations that through the role that sector education and training authorities are playing, this is one of those innovations that we believe will help strengthen partnerships, but also strengthen the capacity of our public institutions to deliver quality program. So when you come back here next year, hopefully we will have some of the first graduates from the creative sector trained from our community colleges. So I want to wish you all the best. Next month, I think, is the community college month. No, August, September. DDG, one of the things that we've seen, and I think you're going to see, the products that students at community colleges produce. I've spoken about bleach, and so on and so forth. Some cook, they do jewelry, and all sorts of things, makeup. We need to find a way, and I think students at community colleges have to lead this, find a way for these products for the community to have access to them. You have a market in your communities. You have to sell these products in your communities. That's the only way within which communities will know why this sector is important. So part of the work which we need to think about is how we're going to open up our doors as community colleges for our communities so that they know what we are doing. So thank you very much for everyone who's put their hands into this, and I hope this will continue beyond just this activity. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Gauteng Music Academy, can we please have one beautiful song? And then after that, when the song is done, ke tlo kopa me noge atlo re etsetsa ditebogo. And it won't be the end of it. When we are done with that, we will then go outside to go to through the exhibitions for those that have not done so, and then there will be lunch. But for now, we're having the Music Academy one more time, and then when they're done, Menoche, do not wait for me to come through Utlemo staging and give us the last.
Dumelang one more time. Le kae re teng kopa le nthuse ngopela pina ene. I hope you'll remember all the words. All right. Let's go. Come on, put your hands together. Let's hear the voices. Let's go. Let's go. Your turn. Soprano. Sounding wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning once more. Thank you, Program Director. I have been requested to stand on behalf of the current acting college principal, Ma'am Florence Chechile, who unfortunately won't be able to join us today. But before I do the vote of thanks, I have been requested to give the DDG as well as the DG, the DDG, Mayor Tembisa Fuchani, as well as the DM, some gifts from Gauteng City College, from one of our centers, that is Watville Community Learning Centers. I'm going to request the Deputy Prince, the SRC President, as well as the Deputy, to ascend the stage. Can we welcome them? Yes, thank you. Right, thank you. Can I request the Deputy Minister, as well as the DDG, to also ascend the stage? And the CEO, Metsiamo Mukhadi. Thank you. Right, thank you very much. Deputy Minister, Dade Manamela, DDG Mefuchani, and the CEO of Market Theatre, Metsiamo. This is a token of appreciation from Gauteng CET College. And please go and test these products. And we have been assured that they are safe. So from tomorrow onwards, just pack all the handy Andes and the pine gel, whatever that you bought from Pick and Pay, and put these to a test. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Right. We need a picture, or else my principal is going to fire me. Do we have a picture? Who is going to assist to take pictures? They are heavy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pakukelenson. Yes. Right, that is Gauteng CET College for you. Right, as I indicated, I think I need to take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate the presence of our Honorable Deputy Minister, Mr. Buti Manamela, the DDG from the CET branch, Mayor Tembisa Fuchani, including the officials from the CET branch. And let me also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Shane Maja, the Chief Director in the Arts and Culture and Heritage Department from Gauteng, who has just arrived now. And most important, the CEO of the Market Theatre and the CEO of the SETAs. And the most important people for the day, our Student Representative Council, including the students from all the community learning centers that have been invited to join this event today. Remember, we are gathered here because of you, students, yes. Remember, it's all about you, and we really appreciate you, students. And I think what is important is that you must make sure that You make us proud as a sector. On behalf of the college EXCO, we would like to appreciate all the stakeholders that made this day possible. And also appreciate the fact that our college, out of the 9 colleges, remember we have 9 community colleges in the country. So Gauteng, we are privileged to have been identified to be part of this important event. I think it is imperative that we commemorate the youth of the 1976 who fought for change, which has given the young people of the country opportunities and good education, and most important, to introduce them to the skills programs in the creative arts industry, which is the highlight of the day. And let me also extend the word of appreciation to the panelists that were part of the dialogue. Very, very important, productive and informative. And I believe that there is more information that we need to share with our students when we leave this particular day. And what is important is that we are planning as a college to have sessions. We are going to arrange sessions as part of student and community support services, where we are going to invite Market Theatre to expose our students and give them more information on some of the short programs that they can offer. And that will be part of our entry support as CET. Deputy Minister, thank you for ensuring that we are encouraged as a key institutions as we assist communities and give our students a second chance in life. Thank you for commemorating our 10th year anniversary as a sector. This day marks a very important era of collaboration with the creative art, and we look forward to more collaborations and engagements with the Market Theatre. To all our students in the CET sector, take this opportunity with both hands in order for you to be able to change your lives. And remember, a lot of opportunities is not about stipends, because there is this thing in the sector, when there is a program that is introduced at DDG, our students will say, do we have a stipend? It's not about a stipend. It's a long-term, yes. It's not about a stipend. And let's not miss this opportunity. And thank you to all other key stakeholders for ensuring that our students are exposed to opportunities. Deputy Minister and DDG Fuchane, Gauteng Community College, we are going to take this baton forward. Whatever seed that you have planted today, we are definitely going to water it and ensure that we run with some of the programs that we will be introduced. We are definitely going to do that, and we are ready to do that. Re a leboga.
Thank you very much, Menoche. Can we give a bigger round of applause? It's been so wonderful spending the morning with you. There are exhibitions outside packed with information that you need to go and engage with. I am told also, DM, that on instruction from the MEC, the Gauteng officials will have a talk with the CETAs and the CET-DDG to take things forward to make sure that provincially things are all aligned. Mr. Shane Maja is over there, if you can just say hello. Thank you so much for a beautiful morning, and thank you to the Gauteng Music Academy for keeping us entertained and keeping us warm earlier in the day when we were all still freezing. You are going to have such a beautiful lunch, but before you have the lunch, do go to the exhibitions. I would like us to please let the Deputy Minister and the CEOs and all his other esteemed guests make their way out through the one door, and then everybody else, we will be free to go or to still sing a little bit. Shane, if you could please join them as well.
Alsa opela di voice di chile or ke tlala. Ke tlala. Tlhompha tlala. Lisho. Alsa batlo bin. Alsa di tsena. How? Akere mara ke re promise lunch. Re sharpne. Okay. Can I now say goodbye? Can I say bye-bye? Can I say hello? Can I say kwaheri? Misala kahle. Ni sale zwavhuḓi. Salang sentle. A ke re le santsane le le teng. Thank you, re a leboga.